Hello, my name is Kalon. I'm the owner of K-LUNDY-Productions. What I'm going to do today is I'm going to write down my entire mix of Fibonacci, my idea associated with Fibonacci, what will make what I'm going to show, obviously not Fibonacci, more or less my discovery, proving that I'm who I say I am, and how important my information discovered is to our entire existence. Without further ado, I'm going to start. Power of Yud. We commonly we commonly associate Yud to be an apostrophe, a comma, part of a semicolon, and in hindsight, what the actual pronunciation is, Yud, disclosed to be said from Jews as the power of God only, in the Hebrew lettering system. Answer: not true. Reason being, the Aleph, the Jewish letter, it's not Hebrew or whatever, but since y'all know what I'm saying, the error titled Hebrew letter Yud looks like a Y. Now, since the value of Yud is 10, and the value of IN is 70, you already see, when you cancel the zeros out, the 1/7 error anyway. So let me continue. Reason being, I'm a sigma. Sigma's lowercase, which is a Greek letter. Sigma's lowercase letter in Greek life is the exact image as a Hebrew sockmate. The letter before IN. With that being stated, being a Sigma International Modern Master Mason, I'm going to prove, with bravery in my next step, how many Yuds is in this entire unit part, not excluding frequency 10, obviously. And then I'll explain with frequency 10. So with frequency 10, count it, and without frequency 10 and count it, meaning all Yuds. One, two, three, four, five, six. Obviously, you heard the sound before I said 6. 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. 11. When you include frequency 10. Now, I'm not going to be a genius, but technically, when you're just taking the frequency 10 off, you're just doing a -1. So, obviously, my pattern for -1 is a reason, because without frequency 10 pronunciation pronounced, there are 10 Yuds. What I'm about to write is the chromosome revisions update. to set up the chromosomes revision update, what I did was, in Fibonacci, it started out with frequency 1. Realistically, with my knowledge of Wall Street, Fibonacci started incorrectly with his numerical unit, 1. It was actually supposed to include 0. So since he wrote down F1, 1, it's actually supposed to be F0. And what I'm going to do is layer each numerical put space. So I'm going up to 33, the number that I was told in Masonry is basically what was said to be the number of the illustrious, 33rd level. But I've only mastered in, how I would say, rituals or whatever, up to a Master Mason's level. And during my training, I was explained there is a way to figure out by a simple riddle. And the explanation was explained to me saying, basically, how do you solve the how do you solve the first how do you solve the first 3 degrees of Masonry when every degree past the 3rd degree of Masonry is all included in the first 3? Basically, after fall 2016 supermoon, the next season during winter 2017, I found a solution. And the solution is, the material gives you hints. But once you know that particular style of realizing the material gives you hints, technically, you don't need the book anymore, because you realize that the G is really meant to be an L, and the L stands for the ancient tradition of being a logician. Basically, people who make words. You got people at Oxford College who vote to add words to the dictionary, but you actually have people who know. Well, I'm a person who knows that you can develop the social psychology associated to the real pronunciation of words by English's acceptance. So this is how I did it. Numerical value 0, numerical value 0. Reason being, 0 plus 0 at minimum is basically saying 0.9 infinity plus 0.9 infinity. Or 1 infinity, 1 through 9 infinity. So in reality, realistically speaking, I'm saying a higher number, but realistically, 0 composes all numbers before a whole number. So to exclude 0 from a count in a sequence, like Fibonacci did, was an error. But he still came up with a structure for pine cones. Did he come up with the start of the structure for pine cones? In my opinion, no. So you got 0 plus 0. You add the 2 previous, you get 1. You add the 2 previous, you get 1. Add the 2 previous, 2. Add the 2 previous, 3. Add the 2 previous, 5. Now at this point, I started to realize, okay, Masonry has this pattern, 3 and 5. So obviously, what I did was reproduce Fibonacci's error later in my pattern with a fact. So technically, I didn't produce an error, I produced a fact. Fact being, 7 is associated next, bypassing the 1. Another good reason is because in one of my many equations associated, 5 plus 3 would be 8. But due to the art of social statistics, meaning how a human operates, what I learned in social statistics is every, at least majority of all statistics reported equation includes a -1 or a +1. So what I did to make a familiarity match was a -1. And I came up with the number 7. So you got frequency of creation, 0. Frequency 1, 0. Add the 2 previous, meaning basically point infinity plus point infinity, 1. Would have to be 1. 1 plus 0, 1. 1 plus 1, 2. 2 plus 1, 3. 5 plus 3, minus 1, 7. Associated to be blue house. Masonry. Continuing, I'm gonna have a calculator. That way people just know I'm not trying to act like I'm a superhero. 5 plus 7 is obviously 12, but I want to show you how I developed. And mind you, I started 1 plus 0 with a calculator just to, wonder why I was exploring. So you got that. Okay, you got 12 plus 7. 19. You got 19 plus 12. 31. At this point, I came up with a numerology because the power component